Have you replaced your stock exhaust on your adventure touring motorcycle yet? Ron here with Southwest Colorado Adventures, and today I'm super excited about replacing my stock OEM exhaust on my Royal Enfield Himalayan with a brand new Delkevic stubby carbon fiber with a removable DB silencer and a spark arrestor kit. Having a background of riding Harleys the vast majority of my life, the exhaust is one of the very first things you replace whenever you get a new motorcycle. I have to admit that getting this Himalayan and riding along on what feels like a sewing machine is a little out of the ordinary for me. But it's not just about the sound. I've already replaced the intake air breather with a Stage 2 DNA kit that opens it up so that there is more air coming into the motorcycle. Well, the exhaust does the same thing except on the other end. It provides a more free-flowing exhaust from the engine, making the engine a little bit more efficient, potentially adding slight gains in torque. We'll see about that. That's not the primary reason. It's about overall engine efficiency. And if it sounds cool, I'm down with that too. Let's take a look at the box and see what we've got inside. So it's almost Christmas time, even though I got this a couple of weeks ago and just hadn't had an opportunity to put it on yet. But it feels like Christmas every time I get a new something or other for this motorcycle. So let's just see what's inside. We have got this is the spark arrestor, which is for going on the OHV trails here in Colorado. Want to be compliant, don't want to start any fires. We have enough of an issue with that already. Here's the link pipe, which goes in between my current header and the new slip-on, new bracket, and it's white. But it that kind of concerned me there for just a minute, but it does have little peel-off protective coating there to reveal the chrome. Delkevic silicone exhaust sealant. We have an invoice and we have the exhaust itself. Now this one is 14 inches, which is what, 4 inches less than factory, which I really am excited about because, you know, I just put those saddlebags on and they touch the exhaust. So this will get them away. All right, I got all kinds of stickers, which is always good. I put them up on my mirror right behind the cameras. And there's the exhaust. Oh man. Look at that, it's got the clamp on it already to hold it all together. Wow. That is just, it's confusing. That carbon fiber, that is sexy right there. My goodness. The difference between this and my stock exhaust could not be more different. I am super excited about this. It is lighter than the Himalayan exhaust, but it feels sturdy. Very, very nice. All right, so before we put this on, if you find this content valuable, slap a like on the video, consider subscribing. Love having you along with me on my little adventures, whether it's putting stuff on or riding in the mountains. Let's get this put on. All right, so this is going to be a sitting down job. So we've already got the saddlebags flopped up out of the way, getting ready so that we can access everything we need. Should be a pretty simple install. Like I said, I've done this on several Harleys, and this is just one. So, you know, usually I have two pipes to work with. Heck of a deal. Let's get rolling. First thing I'm going to take off, it's a little warm from my test earlier. I'm going to go ahead and take these guys off first. That is a 10 millimeter. It looks like these other nuts and bolts are 12. So it should be pretty simple. So the Delkevic does also come with the option of getting the full header that goes all the way up to the engine. I didn't actually want that because my goal is to pull the header off and paint it black, because I've never had a blacked out bike before. Everything else has been chrome, so this is a new adventure for me, and I'm gonna go blacked out. So that little guard doesn't do anything except obstruct a little bit of what I need to get to right up in here. A little bit more. Okay, wow. I have got some grit in there already. That's a good sign. Okay, that is basically pushed back there. I don't think I need to take this guard off, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull the support bracket off there. So much easier to do this when it's new because all the bolts haven't had the opportunity to rust. Like I'm just holding the back one with my fingers. Pull that out. Don't really want to put too much pressure on just the header. So we'll take that off. Okay, so one part done. Super duper simple. And Delkevic actually comes with another coupler. So you don't have to reuse this old one. And I will say, my goodness, this thing is like half the weight of the bike. Wow. The Delkevic feels solid, but this feels like a torpedo. My goodness. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. Let's set this guy aside. All right, before I start putting everything back together, I'm going to clean this up because I'm going to put some sealant on the header. Whenever I put it back together, let's see, that fits there with the Delkevic on the outside, even though this little cover is going to cover it up. On the inside, this will fit over. Yeah, that's exactly it. That fits over and then fits inside this. And then we cinch it all down and we're good to go. Steps it up just a hair because the Delkevic is a bigger, more free-flowing exhaust, which is exactly what I wanted. All right, well, this is all going to be hidden anyway, so it doesn't matter how perfect it is. Pull the sealant out. Little bitty tube here. So we're going to put some on the inside of this where this connects. Slide that on. I'm actually going to put a little more. Get it cinched up good and tight. Okay, so it does take quite a bit to get it tightened down. So the adapter on the inside that brings this pipe to the same gauge as this, I've got that flush with the header pipe on the inside. That leaves a little bit of a gap on this side, but that's the way the OEM was as well. So keep your rag handy, clean up the goop. Don't want a new ugly install, for sure. So, like I said, I've got a spark arrestor for this that meets with the Forest Service guidelines for being able to ride on OHV trails. This is the spark arrestor right here. It's got the vents on it. That's the easy way to tell the difference. Here is what came inside. So if you remove this, you can pull out and increase your dBs. If you're not riding on trails, then yeah, pull this out, have it louder if you prefer, however you want to do that. But since I'm going to be riding on trails, I have this guy that I need to put on the inside because we do not want to start fires. There have been a lot of fires in this area in the, 12 years that we've lived here now. And the absolute last thing I want to do is be a cause of another one. So I'm a big proponent, whatever I can do to make that happen, even if it makes it quieter. I'm a big boy. I'll be okay. Okay, get that right in there. Takes a little Allen wrench to get that tightened. There we go. All right, easy enough. Spark arrestor installed. So we're compliant with the places that we want to go. I'm gonna get this guy ready to go. This fits on the outside. In fact, I'm gonna put the exhaust sealant on the inside for this one. I was happy to know that the location, I guess, for the U.S. offices of Delkevic are just up in Littleton, Colorado. That is not super close to me, but nothing is close to me. So I can't do anything about that. But that's up in the Denver area. This guy points out and back. You want to make sure that you've got this already on there before you start putting this on. Otherwise, you'll have to yank it off and put that on, which I have done before. Not fun. All right, before I tighten that down, I'm going to go ahead and put the bracket, the mounting bracket on. Obviously, the bracket goes inside the rubber channel, like so. I mean, if I'm doing it wrong, somebody please tell me. But I can't imagine how else it goes together. And look at that, I guessed pretty well. That just about came to the end. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to line up. That's concerning. All right, I had to refer to a picture to determine which way it goes. So the bracket's got a flat part on it. The flat part goes to the outside, which wraps around to the outside. And the way it looks like it fits the best for this is the little extender that comes in the packet of bolts along with the couplers goes, I'm going to put it on the inside and then bolt that together. So this right here, this is an extender that brings it up. There's a little bit of leeway that you've got inside there. Looks like that's going to work just perfectly. Again, I'm putting everything together and not tightening it all down because I want to make sure I got it all figured out before I make the final tightens. So I think this is the part that I want to cinch down first. Kind of get this in position, and then everything else I'll be able to wiggle in and tighten up, wiggle just that last little bit and tighten it up. I like it. It basically positioned itself, had it very, very close to begin with. I put the wrong nut back on. That's okay. It was the original Himalayan nut that I put back on. The nuts that come with the Delkevic are 12 millimeters. The nut that was already on the Himalayan was 13. That's why it was an odd size. But, all right, that is good to go there. Yeah, very nice. All right, so now I'm going to come over here and finish up cinching this down. Oh, yeah, that works perfectly. There we go. So that exhaust is mounted. Just to give you a side-by-side comparison, wow, I wish you could feel the difference in the weight between those two exhausts. Wowzers, big difference. Okay, we're gonna put this little plate back on and we will be done. All right, that is mounted. Now, what is it going to sound like? That is the real question. I'm excited. I'm going to clean up and then we'll find out. Okay, everything is done. Got the saddlebags put back together, and you'll notice that down here there is more clearance, so I don't have to worry about needing a heat shield for the saddlebags. So pretty excited. It fit just perfectly. Oh, hey. Okay. If you'll notice, I did go through that shot 3 different times. I just couldn't wait to drive around the house and see how it sounded under a little bit of a load. We don't have a heck of a lot of hills here that you can actually get up or down, but it was pretty doggone cool. I'm snowed in currently, and I can't really get to the highway without trailering the Himalayan about a mile. So there's just a lot of snow right now. I'm gonna do a legit road test with this exhaust very soon. In fact, as soon as I get a chance, I can't wait to get on the road with it. So please keep your eyes peeled for that video when it comes out. That's going to be pretty awesome. So what do I think about the quality of the product? Well, from opening it up and just the solid feel, there is nothing that I could find that is wrong with this Delkevic exhaust at all. There were no flaws. And in fact, everything came with it to be able to put it back on in a pretty quick manner. If I was a better mechanic, it would have gone a lot faster. As far as the sound goes, you heard the videos. Now, videos aren't perfect. I did take a shotgun mic out there and I put it in the exact same position on both exhausts because I wanted to give you as identical a sound as possible, but there was a pretty substantial difference. And really, whenever I did the Delkevic exhaust, I had the garage door open, which means it didn't even resonate back at me like the Himalayan exhaust did. So it really wasn't 100% apples to apples, but the Delkevic blew away the Himalayan exhaust, in my opinion. The thing I like about it, it's lower and it kind of growls. I couldn't imagine what it would actually sound like without the dB reducer in it at all. That would be pretty awesome. Now again, you can take that decibel reducer out if you want to. I just am set up for going on the trails. The Forest Service requires that we have the spark arrestor in there, and like I said before, I am not going to be the cause of any fires around here. So how does it look? Well, that is a great question. I did find a new awesome look for this. Has anybody watched The Mandalorian? I really think this would work perfectly for The Mandalorian. So I'll get in touch with the creative directors there and see what we can do about anybody that has takeoffs. Maybe we can repurpose these and sell them to Disney. If you found value in this video, please like it. Consider subscribing. I love having you along with all the little adventures that I take, whether it's mounting something to the motorcycle or riding through the mountains. And keep in mind, I own a Himalayan. I am not married to it. It's just a motorcycle. It's a tool to get up on the trails And I figure, heck, if I can do this on a Himalayan, just about any motorcycle should be able to make it. So thinking about this, outside of the blaster, I'm thinking it's got a little place to mount something like potentially a rope. So when I take my kayak out and, you know, do a little fishing this summer, I think this is going to be able to help keep me from drifting. So it still has a use. I did have a chat with Jeff at the Delkevic offices in Littleton. He was a super nice guy, very helpful. The question that I had was about whether or not this exhaust that I bought was compatible with my 2022 Himalayan. Now, on the website, it only goes up to 2021, but I did confirm that it does include 2022. I'm not sure if it's Euro 5 regulations or whatever it is that they've got going on over there, but it does fit. It is compatible. So I'm going to link to Delkevic down below. You can go through there. They've got all different kinds of exhausts. They've got longer exhausts. They have an 18-inch exhaust just like the one that I've got. They have even smaller. They have very short. So it just depends on what you want. I'm a big fan. The quality is probably better than I really expected. The exhaust wasn't super expensive, so you just kind of never know what you're going to get, but I have no complaints whatsoever. If you haven't seen my full Himalayan review, I'm going to link that up top here. And then I think coming up here, YouTube is going to be recommending some more content for you that maybe you haven't seen before. I appreciate you coming along with me today. Everybody be safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Thanks, y'all.